I bet you've never had real wasabi. Those little green balls that taste amazing with sushi? Yeah, they're not real wasabi. And 95% of the wasabi served in sushi restaurants contain no real wasabi at all. So if that spicy green paste isn't true wasabi, what is it? How different does the real stuff taste? And why is there so much fake wasabi? Is it because of its price tag? Is it extremely rare? Or does it have something to do with its flavor? Put your answer in the comments below and stick around as we get to the root of this story. The Japanese have been harvesting wasabi since the 10th century. But they didn't eat it because it tasted good. They believed that serving wasabi with raw meat would reduce food illness, and it turns out they were correct. We'll have more on that later. First, let's look at where you can find real wasabi. Wasabi is related to horseradish and mustard. You can find this plant growing in cool, shady mountain stream beds in Japan. But this delicate ecosystem makes wasabi a challenging plant to cultivate. It needs loose organic soil and lots of water. But the water also needs to drain away over time. And it requires a colder climate, but not too cold, so you see what's happening. This plant also can't stand sunlight. So calling it picky would be an understatement. It takes 1 to 2 years before farmers can pluck wasabi out of the ground. Because it's so challenging to grow and it takes so long to mature, the wasabi root is rare. And rare usually means expensive.
Money, please!
If you want to buy 1 kilogram of wasabi at wholesale price, it would cost you $160. But you don't need that much wasabi. You're just looking for some to complement your sushi, right? Well, that would cost you around $5 for each little green ball. Maybe that's not too much for a fancy sushi dinner, but there's one more obstacle you'd have to overcome.
Watch me.
Pure wasabi is really hard to find. You might find so-called wasabi at grocery stores, but look closely at its ingredient list. If the first ingredient isn't wasabi japonica, it's not the real stuff. You could find it at the nicest sushi restaurant in town.
A little more, please.
But if it isn't grated right in front of you, it's probably not real wasabi. Why? Wasabi must be eaten fresh. Its complex taste comes from a chemical reaction that only happens when the root is grated, destroying its cell walls. After 15 minutes, the wasabi paste will begin losing its rich flavor. Enjoying that rich flavor is worth the cost. True wasabi is a little grittier than its fake counterpart, and it's spicy but not overwhelming. Many people describe it as earthy, with a pleasant aftertaste.
So imagine a spicy asparagus.
And it isn't as hot as fake wasabi.
I like it.
The real stuff complements the delicate flavors of your sushi instead of clearing your sinuses and setting your brain on fire until it's clawing its way out of your skull. Its taste is exquisite, and its price tag is high, but the main reason that most wasabi is fake is because real wasabi is so rare. There's just too much demand and not enough supply. But if you haven't been using real wasabi, what have you been eating? Well, I'll tell you. It's a mixture of horseradish, mustard flour, cornstarch, and green food coloring, among other things. If there is real wasabi in your fake wasabi, it's usually only about 1% of the paste. Although, let's face it, fake wasabi is still pretty good. And I will continue to eat an ample amount of it with my sushi, with little strips of ginger on top because I like my hair on fire. But real wasabi's benefits extend past its complex taste to valuable medical properties. Wasabi improves circulation and strengthens the body, making it an anti-aging vegetable. It has anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial benefits, and it contains allyl isothiocyanate. This oily compound reduces the risk of food poisoning.
We got food poisoning, Tom. How do you not have food poisoning?
So if you have the chance to try real wasabi, take it. If you want to try more expensive ingredients, maybe you should try saffron. Why is this spice so expensive? Find the answer on another episode of Origins of Food.